great Indian teacher Krishnamurti once said, "The greater the outward show, the greater the inward poverty." I love that saying. So what we see around us now is that kind of condition everywhere we look. We see it with celebrity, we see it with politicians mainly as well. Known in the trade as virtue signalling, trying to pretend that they're something they're not, when underneath all of that, there's a great inward poverty taking place. I do think the countries throughout the EU now, especially in England here where I am, are like a rudderless ship. There is no leaders anymore, there's just managers actually serving the interests of those above them, the powers above them. So they're not even serving their own people anymore, they are just managers and not leaders. So where does that leave us? Well, I think if you're responsible enough to look at it, we have to realise that we put ourselves in this situation. We're the ones that have been looking up to authority for a long, long time. We're the ones that look up to celebrity. We've created celebrity. There's no celebrity without the people. There's no authority without the people. So I think we're in a position now where we need to come back to ourselves and look at this idea of class as nothing more than rituals. We've all seen it. We've probably all done it as well at some point. We're taught how to eat, how to greet someone, how to shake someone's hand, and how to be, how to act. But these are rituals, not really class. These are based on rituals, because wherever you go, if you go to another country, these rituals change. They become different. People shake hands with different hands. They eat in different ways. They greet in different ways. So these are just rituals. They're not actually class. So we're looking up to authority, I believe, at a classless society, because lying is the mother of all vice. And I guarantee, as a coach and a therapist for many, many years, somebody that is lying is going to be doing a lot of other vices as well. So what we're doing, we're looking up to a group of people that have set their bar so low that actually we're going to lower our own standards in order to do that. So I think we need to look at class slightly differently. I think we need to look at it as empathy, as courage, the courage to take responsibility for your community, for what's going on around you, your responsibility in that. What are you looking at that's actually lowering your own standards, lowering your own values? I think it is absolutely essential now that we look at the class system as something that's just an illusion. It's not even real, and we bought into it. And we have to change that now and look at it as solid values that previous generations were raised on. There were some bad things about that as well, but there was a lot of good that came out of it. There was a lot of respect, a lot of discipline. People didn't behave quite in the loose way they do now. So the class system was never real. It was never real about you need to look up to this person because of who they are. No longer must we fall for the slick suits and the slick speeches of those that want to control you, because they're not capable of it. They have no control over themselves. I can guarantee you that they have no control over themselves. Those that lie are into other vices, because it is the leader, it is the one that actually opens the door to all vice. And you know, in previous times, young men and boys looked up to the warrior class. They looked up to them for two reasons. There was one, that they looked at them as strong, physically capable, but also the values that they had and the protection that they offered. They was inspired by that. It's a very modern history where we started to look up to celebrities and fame and those in the public eye just for being famous. That came from an increased fragility, and it also came from being more self-absorbed. So we have to redefine what we're going to class as class. What are we going to define it as? If it's not going to be defined on what money a man has, or what power he has, what position he holds, what are we going to define it on? This is the big question. Surely it has to come back to the honour of a man, the courage of a man, the integrity of a man. And that's something we can all do now. We could just make a decision. How about if we progress in a way that we can actually become higher value human beings than those that want to rule us? How about we set our bar higher than those? And so that they won't actually be able to connect with us anymore on the level that they are, because we've moved beyond it. We've turned our backs on it. And I know this is happening anyway, but it's still there. There's still this authority will come and save me. Authority will tell me what to do. They won't. So now's the time to redefine that class, and for every man out there to actually really work on himself and raise his own standards and either encourage them to do the same, or they'll be talking to empty spaces. they'd be talking to the backs of people. They'd be talking to nothing because there's no connection. The only way they can rule is if they have connection. That's the only way. And that connection could be fear. It could be fear. Fear works very, very well. It's worked very well up until now. But if we decide to move beyond that, then they will have to do the same, or they will cease to exist. And that's something we can make a choice to do right now, in the moment.